warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening everyone. Thanks for you had clicked this video. And on this video, you might probably not find any inspirational and rhetorical words, so you might find it a little different than usual. Here I want to speak about freedom of learning, or education as it is, with a sincere heart to all teachers and students in Indonesia from Sabang to Merauke. As you know that education will not be separated from human nature, that is education. Humanizing humans, that is the main purpose of education in general. All over the world definitely need education, especially here in a country where we stand and live our lives, namely Indonesia. But nowadays, Indonesia education has been underestimated. Moral decay, brutal students, increasingly intense politicization and commercialization, corruption everywhere, and learning doesn't even know where. Is this a portrait of Indonesian education? Filled with incessant obscurity. Whereas in our history, we have made many sacrifices and struggles in advancing education in this country since before independence was declared. For example, in 1928, there was a birth label for the Indonesian nation that we knew at that moment with the Youth Pledge. Then in 1945, the youth clashed with the old. Bung Karno was kidnapped at the time by a group of students who then immediately declared Indonesian independence. Then, in the 1960s, the students were faced with the situation and condition of the Zolim. The students proved their strength at the time. Then Sukarno was overthrown. Then, in 1988, students were again faced with a very wrongdoing situation. And again, the students proved their strength. Then Suharto was removed at the time from the government office. In addition, on August 17, 1945, independence was clearly declared to all corners of the world. But now, we are not definitely free yet. We are only independent from colonialism by the Dutch and Japanese. But now we are being colonized by our own country, namely being colonized by shackles that kill creativity of students, teachers, and other education personnel. Money and power, they have become the main domination of the rulers. And now, in the 2000s, we are faced with a reformation era where every student must pay attention to changes in society, state, and nation in a glorious direction. That's what we aspire to in the future. It must lead to the interest of the people. Students as agents of change. Students as agents of control. Students as agents of analysis. In line with that comes a big responsibility that we must complete, namely the resurrection of education movement and the freedom of learning. With the increase in the quality of education, it means that the human resources that are born will be of better quality and will be able to bring this nation to compete fairly in all fields in the international world. Because education is a milestone for the nation's progress. But until now, has the vision and mission of education in this motherland been realized, where quality is no longer the one that is number one, but the image that is put forward. Discourse is only a discourse. The problem of education is getting worse, day by day. Then, with this condition, will education progress in the future? And is there still a hope for us? The answer is yes, of course. There is still a hope for us. As agents of change, this is the time for us to make a real contribution to educational and social development in society. This is the time to optimize the potential we have as personal and community needs. If the government is unable to overcome the high cost of education, this is the time to distribute a little of our knowledge to those who do not receive education free of charge. This is the time to channel our creativity as their skills. This is the time for us to build a reading garden for the future of the nation's children. And for all dear Indonesian teachers out there, your assignment is both the noblest and the most difficult. You are tasked with shaping the future of the nation, but more often given rules than help. You want to help students who are lagging behind in class, but are running out of time on administrative assignments with no apparent benefit. You know very well that the potential of a child cannot be measured by the results of the test, but you are forced to chase numbers because of pressure from various stakeholders. You want to take your students out of the classroom to learn from the world around them, but the curriculum is so dense that it closes the door to adventure for them. You are frustrated because you know that in the real world, the ability to work and collaborate will determine a child's success, not the ability to memorize. You know that every child has different needs, but uniformity has trumped diversity as a basic principle of bureaucracy. You want every student to be inspired, but you are not given the confidence to innovate. The government won't make empty promises to you. Change is difficult and full of inconveniences. One thing is for sure. We will fight for freedom of learning in Indonesia. However, change cannot be started from above. Everything starts and ends with the teacher. Don't wait on cue. Don't wait for orders. Take the first step. Tomorrow, wherever you are, make small changes to your classroom. For example, the first, invite the class to discuss, not just listen. The second, provide opportunities for students to teach in class. The third, spark a social service project that involves the whole class. The fourth, find a talent in students who are less confident. And the last, offer to help teachers who are experiencing difficulties. Whatever small changes are, if every teacher does it simultaneously, this big ship called Indonesia will definitely move forward for the better future. For all students and teachers out there, keep fighting and hoping for the best education in this country. Don't you ever stop until you try to make a brighter future. Because our struggle never ends today, but it keeps flowing with the change of era. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention and stay healthy. I'm Rifyal Kalam Mahardhika. Back to you. Wassalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.